Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another Hammer Productions night. Tonight, I will be reviewing The Viking Queen, released in 1967, directed by Don Chaffey from a script by Clark Reynolds and John Temple Smith, starring Don Murray, Carita, Donald Houston, Andrew Keir, Adrienne Corri, Niall MacGinnis, Wilfred Lawson, Nicola Pagett, Percy Herbert, Patrick Troughton, Sean Chaffrey, and Denis Shaw. Now this film is kind of in line with She, in some ways. It details the Roman Empire in Britain and the Druids and their revolt against the Roman Empire. And it's funny that the movie is called The Viking Queen when she's not really a Viking and there are no Vikings of the, in the traditional sense of Vikings in this film. Like I said, the underlining people that are being led through this, the regular people, are Druids. Led by a Druid priest played by Donald Houston, and he is so over the top in his portrayal in here that it just almost comes off as comical. And he almost reminded me of one of the characters from the Batman Adam West 66 television series. But, I mean, that character was always, Donald Houston, I thought for a fact that was the same actor while watching this film because of how over the top Donald Houston's performance was and how it's just felt like that same actor. But his over-the-top portrayal really clashes with the rest of the performances in the film. I mean, because Don Murray as Justinian, and of course Carita as Selena, the actual Viking queen of the title, Andrew Keir as Octavian, Adrienne Corri as Beatrice, Niall MacGinnis as Tiberian, and Patrick Troughton as Tristan. That they all are giving dramatic, great performances in this film. Another over-the-top performance is Denis Shaw as Osiris. So you've got these two performances in there that really clash with the overall style of the film that Don Chaffey is going for in this film. And I just think that this could have been a much better film. Costuming, locations, settings, all of the stuff that they did in this film is very well done as far as the Roman costuming, the costuming of the Druid characters and stuff. Everything in this film works except for some of these performances that are, really hammy and over the top. And for some reason, Clark Reynolds and John Temple Smith, in their script, they decided to write all sorts of betrayal storylines throughout this thing that, Andrew Keir's character of Octavian is working under Don Murray's Justinian. And then all of a sudden, and it showed that he's kind of jealous that he has taken control of this army when he's more of a politician. Justinian is more of a politician, and Octavian is a total-on soldier. So he believes that he should be in charge of this army. Whereas, that would be fine for a little friction when commanding, but they have him full-on just end up betraying Justinian and the Roman people in a sense himself, because he is aligning with these money-hungry characters such as Osiris, played by Denis Shaw, in order to make Justinian and the rest of the Romans believe that the Druids are waging war against the Romans. And make no mistake, some of the Druids as characters are bad themselves. Like I said, Donald Houston, his character is just so, and his character is trying to make his people become warlike and just and he's always constantly trying to get Selena to accept the sword and fight and everything, and it eventually leads to Andrew Keir's character of Octavian attacking the Druids while they're at a meeting and basically just causing them to want to rebel against the Romans and want to fight. And that does not work for me in the story because he was a soldier and he was loyal to the Romans. He should not be just so easily manipulated by these rich Druid town folk. He allows himself to be manipulated and played like a fool. And it just makes Andrew Keir's character look foolish in the story. And the setup is not even paid off. We wait this whole film for Selena to become this Viking queen of the title and lead her people against the Romans. She is in love with Justinian. And, of course, Don Murray's Justinian is in love with her, and they want to be married. But then that causes friction between them, and they end up still going to fight against each other. And it rushes to a big conclusion where there's a big final fight. And you're thinking this is just the setup for additional battles. But that one fight is all there is. This is like a 5-minute sequence. They attack the Romans defend, and the Romans kick their ass, and the movie ends. That's it. The whole setup for this Viking queen, and it's over in like 5 minutes. So I think this was not as well thought out in the script writing phases from Clark Reynolds and John Temple Smith. Don Chaffey does the best he can with directing this film, but I think it suffers from just too many stupid elements not making sense and a rushed ending. So, my final review of The Viking Queen from 1967. I am going to give this film a 7.2 out of 10. It's a well-directed and, for the most part, well-acted film, with the exception of Donald Houston and Dennis Shaw just being as campy as can be in their roles. But there's no real payoff for this. Even though the costuming, everything about it works in a lot of ways, it's the story that lets it down. But what do you think of this film? Have you seen The Viking Queen? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And if you enjoyed this review, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan.
Well, that's it for another Hammer Productions night. If you missed last week's Hammer Productions night, check out the link up here to get caught up on that one. Or if you missed any of the other Hammer Productions night, be sure and check out the playlist right here to get caught up on any of them that you have missed.